Hello everyone. Today, I'm going to create a cool spiral bullet pattern for our boss enemy. First, let's take a look at our bullet actor. I've got a simple setup here. A sphere collision component, projectile movement component set the initial speed to 1000 units. Enabled rotation follows velocity. Set the projectile gravity scale to 0. Then set the velocity x to 1, which will control the initial direction. In event begin play, it has delay node set 3 second and destroy itself node. Now, let's move on to our boss enemy actor. I've got a sphere collision and a static mesh for the visual representation. We need to create a few variables to control the spiral pattern. Let's start with a float called spiral count. This will determine the number of bullets in our spiral. Next, we'll need spawn radius, another float, to control the distance of the bullets from the boss. Then we'll create spiral angle shift, which will control the angle between each bullet. We'll also need current angle, spawn angle. I set variable spawn count to 4, set spawn radius to 200, set spiral angle shift to 5. In the begin play event, we'll add a delay node set to 2 seconds, just to give the player a moment before the attack starts. After that, we'll use a set timer by event node. We'll set the timer to 0.1 seconds and check the looping box. Now, let's create a custom event called spawn bullet. Inside this event, we'll use a for loop. We'll use spiral count subtract by 1 set to the last index. We can promote the index pin to a variable called index for easier access. Inside the loop, we'll divide 360 degrees by spiral count. And then multiply that by the index. This result will be added to the current angle variable and stored in spawn angle. We'll then use a degrees to radians node to convert spawn angle to radians. We'll feed the result into the cos and sin nodes. Then, we'll use a make vector node, using the cos output for the x component, the sin output for the y component, and leaving the z component at 0. This vector will be multiplied by our spawn radius variable. We'll then add this result to the get actor location of the boss to get the spawn position of our bullet. Next, we need to set the rotation of the bullet. Drag output from make vector, then get node, make rot from x. Then break the resulting to get yaw value. We add the spiral angle shift variable multiplied by the index to the yaw. We'll then use a make rotator node, assigning the calculated yaw value to the z component. We'll get the actor rotation and break it using the x and y values from the actor rotation. Now, we have our spawn location and rotation. We'll use a spawn actor from class node, setting the spawn class to our bullet actor, and using our calculated location and rotation. Now, if we test this, you'll notice the bullets don't spiral correctly. That's because we need to update the current angle variable. After the loop completes, we'll get the current angle and add the spiral angle shift to it, storing the result back in current angle. We'll then use an if branch to check if the current angle is greater than or equal to 360. If it is, we'll set the current angle back to 0. Now we see the spiral pattern working correctly. Okay, let's change variable spiral count to 6. If you want to reverse the spiral direction, simply change the addition to a subtraction in the current angle update. Instead of adding spiral angle shift, subtract it. And that's it. We've successfully created a spiral bullet pattern for our boss enemy. Thanks for watching.